Hi, welcome to the fourth part of the course Effective Team Management. I'm Dr. Ayla Esen and I'm going to guide you throughout the content again in this part. So here is the outline of our fourth part. We will mainly talk about the mistakes that we should avoid in a team. These are groupthink, social loafing, group shift and polarization. So we will talk about what these concepts are and how we can avoid these. And in the second part of this fourth part of the course, we will talk about the common characteristics of effective teams. So let's start with what kind of mistakes that we can make in a team. Consider that you're in a team, and by being a member of a team, there should be or there may be some biases that you may experience, and if you are aware of such biases or such mistakes, then it's going to be easy for you to avoid these. So that's why maybe we should first start with talking about what kind of mistakes are potentially done in being a team member or being a team. And then we can discuss the steps that we should take to avoid such mistakes. So let's start with the first mistake or the first pitfall of a team, which is groupthink. So groupthink is actually the practice of thinking or making decisions as a group, resulting typically in unchallenged, poor quality decision making. So imagine you're part of a group, and let's say that if all group members other than you agree upon a certain element, a certain decision, then you will probably be willing to speak up less, right? Because everybody is thinking of the same, so why not speak up your opposing opinion or idea? This is what we call groupthink. The group is usually tending or inclining to think the same. So even if you have different opinions than the group, you are just not speaking it up and you just think that, okay, maybe I'm wrong. If everybody else is thinking the same, then maybe they are correct. And this is actually a common mistake made in groups. And how did we come up with this concept, or how did we realize that phenomenon of groupthink? It was initiated by the social psychologist Solomon Asch. So what he did is that he made a couple of experiments on understanding the dynamics behind groupthink. And what he did is that you can see here different bars, see? So he made experiments on a group of people, okay? So one of these people in the group, a person, he was unaware of the purpose of the experiment, and he was just told that you're going to answer the questions, okay? But the other members in the experiment knew which answer to give, so they were told to give a specific answer. And what happened is that you are invited into a room, okay, and you are the scientists show you this bar, this initial bar, and they ask you which of these three bars the initial bar is equal to, okay? Is it A, is it B, or C? So when you are asked this question, your answer will be automatically B, right? But what happened in the experiment is that all others in the group were told by the scientists to give the answer C. So when everybody else said that in the room, everybody else in the room said that the initial bar is actually equal to C, then our person who doesn't know about the experiment starts questioning his perception. Okay, am I wrong? I mean, everybody's saying that it's equal to C, then probably they're right, because maybe I'm just seeing it differently. Maybe there's something wrong with my sight or something like that. Okay, so they did this experiment over and over continuously on different individuals, and what came out to be is that 70% of the individuals actually, seeing what others answered, how others answered, they changed their answer to C, even if it's obviously the wrong answer. Okay, since everybody else in the room is giving the same response, they just are victims of this groupthink phenomena. So that's why when we reflect this on actual groups in our real lives, we say that the norms that the group forms, or the group rules, the group norms, they have a critical role in group effectiveness. So how should we avoid groupthink then? We shouldn't have large number of members in a group. We should keep the team size below 10 members so they can discuss their ideas openly with each other without anybody keeping their voices low. So everybody has a time, has a space to speak up their own opinions. So that's why team size is critical to avoid groupthink. Also, we should actively seek input from all members. If someone else is silent in the team, we should specifically ask this person of his or her opinion. We should encourage them to be more active in providing their own opinions. And in order to avoid groupthink, I mean the group thinking the same thing, whether without knowing whether it's right or wrong, we should also assign some members of the team to be the devil's advocates. Like, you should look at this solution from a different perspective and try to find what's wrong with our decisions, or if there's anything wrong with the decision. So this devil's advocates will try to look at the group's ideas, group's decisions from a different perspective, so they will try to break this groupthink problem or mistake in a team. Another problem in teamwork is social loafing. I'm sure that we all had projects, group projects, team projects in university when we were students, or when we are students. Okay, we were all part of some student project teams, and I'm sure that you met someone in the team who didn't do anything because he or she was depending or confident that others will do or complete the project no matter what. So this is called social loafing, not doing one's best. Social loafing is the tendency for individuals to expend less effort when working collectively than when working individually. So if it's a group work, if it's teamwork, you don't need to put that much effort because you think the others will do it. But this is a problem. Because you wouldn't do the same behavior, you wouldn't behave the same if you were given the same task as an individual. So you should prevent social loafing, and you should make sure that all members in the team put their best effort into achieving the team's goals. How can you prevent social loafing? First, you should set group goals so the group has a common purpose. Okay, so there should be a common purpose for the group. And then you should increase intergroup competition to make sure that everybody puts their best. Okay, you want to be the best group among other groups, like you want to give the best student projects to your professor, because there is a bonus at the end. Maybe he or she is going to buy you some fancy dinner at the end of the project term. So this intergroup competition will make the members of the team to work more to become the best team. Another solution to prevent social loafing is to bring in peer evaluation. So you let everyone in the team to score each other's performance, for instance, okay? So let's say, let's go back to our example of the student project. So you're in the project team and the professor asks every student in the team to give a score to other team members in their same team. So in order to not get the lowest score from your team members, from your friends in the team, you can put more effort into teamwork. And finally, if possible, these group rewards can be based on each member's unique contributions, okay? So if you try to reward individuals in the same team, then you may prevent social loafing to a certain extent. A third problem or a third common mistake that we see in teams is group shift and polarization. So psychology, social psychology, proposes that when the group makes a decision which is different than our own individual decision, then we are tending to be polarized. We are tending to think more extremely about our own decision. So group shift is a change between a group's decision and an individual's decision that a member within the group would make. If one individual's decision is different than the group decision, a conservative member becomes more cautious and more aggressive types take on more risk. The group discussion tends to exaggerate the initial position of the group, so you become polarized. The ideas, the opinions get stronger when there is some kind of disagreement in the group. Consider that you're in a team and you have given a specific purpose to accomplish, and a dominant part of the group has agreed upon a certain route to follow to complete this task, but you don't agree with them. So you are tending to become more aggressive in your own opinions if you are a risk taker, and you become more aggressive in defending your own point of view. But you weren't like that at the initial stage. You weren't that into your own idea or your own opinion of how to accomplish the task. But then if others agree and if you're an aggressive person, you become more extreme. If you're a conservative person, you become more cautious, saying that maybe maybe I was wrong, and maybe the group is right about their decision, so I will just wait and see whether my initial idea was actually not a good idea. So again, you are not in your initial position. Now you have taken a step back from your initial position. So in group shift, the individual decision, if it's different from the group's decision, you are tending towards going to a different extreme. Polarization occurs when members are willing to express extreme versions of their original positions. So the group divides into two poles. And this is a problem because this is a threat for achieving consensus, achieving agreement in a group, in a team.